Have you ever looked around your house, the house where you raise your family, you celebrated your birthdays, welcome grandchildren, and build decades of memories, and quietly wondering, could I really leave this all behind? Maybe you are not ready to move today. Maybe you are very healthy, very independent, still driving, still cooking, still taking care about your own life. But maybe you are also tired. Tired of worrying about the roof after another hailstorm in Oklahoma, tired of looking at the yard and thinking about mowing, trimming all the leaves, the fall is almost here, and all the repairs. Tired of knowing that if something breaks, you are the one who has to figure it all out. And maybe after losing a spouse, retiring, or simply reaching a new season of life, you have started asking a question that feels both very practical and very deeply emotional. Should I sell my longtime Oklahoma home and move into a retirement community or maybe independent living community? Today, I want to tell you a story about a woman named Linda. I've read about Linda in a paper and I thought about her situation, how real it was. In fact, parts of her story may feel like a little bit part of your story. Linda is about 75 years old and she was living in Oklahoma City Metro all her life. She had spent 42 years in the same home. It was not just the house, it was the place where her children grew up. It was the kitchen where she hosted holidays, dinners, birthdays, her backyard where all the grandkids were played through the years. And it was the house she had shared with her husband Tom for almost 5 decades. After Tom passed away, Linda stayed in the house because that seems like the natural things to do. Her friends were there, her church was very familiar and very close, her grocery store was like 5 minutes away. She knew every shortcut through the neighborhood, every neighbor. And at first, staying felt safe, but little by little, the house began to feel different. Not bad, just heavier. One afternoon, a storm came through Oklahoma, and we all know about storms in Oklahoma. They could be really violent. The wind was super strong, and the news were talking about hail in the area. You know how David Payne on News 9 is. He got all excited. And Linda was sitting in her living room listening to the rain hitting the roof, and she was thinking, what if this tree, this big tree I have in my front yard, what will happen if the limb comes down? What if I have damage? Who do I call? How much it will cost me? It was her husband before who took care about all of this, calling and taking care of business. And suddenly she was the only one who had to make this decision. Thankfully, that night nothing happened, but something changed in her thinking. She realized that she not only was living in her home, she was managing it on her own. There was the lawn, there was the gutters, there was the air conditioner, water heater, the fence, insurance, property taxes, everything, all the repairs. It was everything on her head. And Linda did not want her life to become a long list of things to worry about. Still, the idea of moving felt almost impossible. Not because she didn't understand the practical side of it. She understood it very well. She had some friends even suggesting that she should downsize. Even her daughter had gently mentioned senior living. She had even looked online at few retirement communities, but every time she thought about leaving, another question popped out. What if I hate it? What if I feel trapped? What if I lose independence? What if I miss my neighbors? What if I regret selling my house? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what if I move and feel like someone else is managing my life? By the way, if we haven't met, I am Honorata Gruzewski, Oklahoma City Realtor. Welcome back to 55 Plus Living in Oklahoma, when we talk about housing, lifestyle, and the things that help you enjoy life after 55, right here in Oklahoma. That fear was real. Many older adults hear the words senior living or retirement community and picture losing control. They imagine schedule they don't choose, the meals they don't like, rules they don't want to follow, and people telling them what to do. But Linda decided she would not take decision based on assumptions. She decided to gather information. Her first step was not listing her home. Her first step was simply visiting communities around. She toured 3 independent living communities around Oklahoma City Metro. And at first one, she knew almost immediately that was not for her. It felt too formal. It didn't feel right. At the second one, she liked the apartment, but she did not connect with overall atmosphere. The third one she visited, it was bright, it was peaceful, the grounds were maintained, people were sitting outside and talking. One woman was coming back from the exercise class, another resident was headed to the meeting with the friend. Linda noticed something super important. No one looked managed. They looked busy, they looked comfortable, they looked like people who still have a lot of choices. She decided to look at the apartment with the real kitchen because she was always loving to cook. She was looking at the room, which was big enough for her favorite chair. She looked for the space for family's photos. She likes to have a patio so she could sit outside and have her drink and listen to the birds. For the first time, she did not picture what she would be giving up. She pictured rather what she might gain. That is super important shift. When you are considering selling a long-time home, it is easy to focus on the loss. You are losing your address, you are losing your familiar rooms, your routines, but a move also can create something new, like you may have less maintenance, more time, more connections, more support if you need it, and possibly more peace of mind. Linda did not rush. She took practical steps. First, she asked for a clear breakdown of the community costs. She wanted to know exactly what the monthly payment included. She asked about the utilities, the internet, meals, housekeeping, transportations, activities, parking, pet policies, even though right now she did not have a pet, but you never know. Maybe she wants to have one later on. She asked about the guest policies because she wanted her granddaughter to visit her and maybe spend a night or two with her. And she also want to know what will happen if her health decline, if she will have more assistance later. Then she looked at the numbers for her house, not just the value of the home when she will sell it. She was trying to figure out the full cost of staying. Her property taxes, homeowner's insurance, utilities, lawn care, repairs, future updates, And of course, unexpected expenses that always seem to show up in the worst time. She spoke with her financial advisor, she spoke with the family members she trusted, and she spoke with the real estate professional who understood that selling a long-time home is not a simple transaction, it's a transition. Linda also gave herself permission to ask a very honest question. Am I staying here because this home still fits my life? Or am I staying because I am afraid of the work and emotion of moving? That question may be worth asking yourself too, because there is no price for staying in the house that has become too much. There is no shame in choosing a home that supports the life you want now. After several weeks, Linda decided to move forward. She did not do everything at once. She started slow. She started by sorting one room at a time. She kept meaningful things. She gave some items to the family members who wanted. She donated things she no longer used. And yes, they were emotional days. They were the moments when she opened a drawer, found an old note from Tom, her husband, or looked at the wall where the family photos had hung for years. Yes, it was hard. Moving did not erase those memories. It simply made room for the new chapter. Her house sold, and she moved into a new community just a few miles from the neighborhood she had known for decades. That part mattered to her. She could still attend her church, she could still see her friends, she could still visit her favorite places. She was not leaving her life behind. She was changing her address to make the next part of her life a little bit easier. A few months later, Linda said something that surprised even her. She said that she thought it would feel like she's giving up independence. Instead, she felt like she got some back. She was no longer worried about the lawn care. She was no longer worried about broken appliances in the middle of the night. She was no longer listening to the heavy rain and wonder whether her roof was okay. She had options. She could join a fitness club. She could have a lunch with the neighbors. She could stay at home and cook her own meal in her own kitchen. She could see the family. She could get in her car and go wherever she wants. And if the day came when she didn't want to drive, transportation was available. That is the difference many people discover. A good independent living community should not take away your choices. It should give you more freedom from the responsibilities that have become stressful. Now, I want to be clear. Moving to the retirement community or independent living is not the right choice for everyone. Some people want to age in place and make their current home safer and easier to manage. Some want to downsize into a smaller home, patio home, condo, or 55 plus neighborhood. Some need more support than independent living provides. The right answer depends on your health, your finances, your family, your social life, and what you want your everyday life look like. But if fear is one of the thing that keeps you from exploring your options, I want to encourage you. Do not let fear make the decision for you. You do not have to decide today. You do not have to list your home next week. You do not have to be certain that moving is right or bad. You need to be enough curious to learn what is possible and start 3 simple steps. First, write down what is becoming harder for you about your current home. Be honest. Is it the maintenance? Is it the stare? Maybe it's a isolation. Maybe it's a cost. Maybe it's a stress of keeping up. Second, write down what you want more. Would you like travel more? Maybe you want to spend more time with your family, with your friends. Maybe you want to be more active. You want to maybe have peace of mind. And number 3, visit a few options before you need to make a decision. Tour independent living communities, look at 55 plus communities, explore smaller homes, ask questions, sit down for lunch, notice how you feel. Because sometimes the places you are afraid to move to may become the places that help you lighter, happier, and more connected with the people around you. If you are in Oklahoma, homeowners age 55 plus, and you are wondering whether you should stay or maybe downsize or move into a senior living community, I will be honored to help you think it through. I would like to help you understand the choices you may have, your home value, your timeline, and the practical step that can make a move feel less overwhelming. If you would like to schedule a no pressure call with me, we can talk through your situation. I can answer your questions and help decide what the next step may be for you. If this video was informative enough for you, please share it with your friends. I will greatly appreciate it. And I will see you when I see you.